Hi guys, it's Sarah Todd. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm home from college. Whoa, it has been a minute since I filmed a YouTube video in my bedroom at home. This feels really weird, but good. I'm really happy to be home. I have been home for a bit now, and I have enjoyed the time I've had with my family so far, and it's been nice to sleep in and just kind of relax. I did have a couple finals that I had to take and finish up before I was officially done with school, but I'm now done with those, so I can just relax and enjoy my time at home for the next 2 months, which is so wild to think about. Before I get into the video, I want to let you know that I have reopened my Etsy shop where I sell all 3 of my books that I have written and published. So be sure to visit the link in the pinned comment down below to get your hands on my books. They make great gifts for the holidays, so definitely check them out before the holiday season ends. Anyway, first things first, yes, I am wearing a One Direction sweater. I hope you like it. I love the sweater. And yeah, I'm not ashamed of this. So yeah, I'm wearing One Direction sweater. Also, I feel like this whole filming in my room thing, like with this view and everything, is just bringing me back like 3 months in time. It feels really strange. I just remember filming so many videos right here over the summer before school, and like I have done so much since I last filmed a video right here. It's so weird to think about. So anyway, I thought that it would be good to just sit down and kind of reflect on my time at college. I had a fabulous time at college. It was incredible. Even with the pandemic going on, I had an amazing time. I made so many wonderful friends. I learned so much in my classes. I learned a lot about myself and how capable I am and how much independence I actually have as a disabled person. So I want to tell you all about that because I feel like you'll find that interesting. And yeah, so we're just going to sit down, reflect on college, all that I learned, all that I accomplished, and my challenges as well. So a lot of you have been asking what classes I took and what my major is. I'm going to tell you all a little bit more about my major in my Q&A video, which is coming up soon, but I took 3 classes instead of 4 this first semester because I really wanted 4, but I couldn't get a 4th one. It didn't work with my schedule. So I took 3, which was typically not a full load. 4 was typically a full load, but they lowered that to 3 because of the pandemic. So I was still taking a full course load. I was in general psychology, symbolic logic, and intermediate Spanish. I really enjoyed Spanish and psychology. I learned so much. My Spanish skills got so much better. I'd never gotten to take a psych class, and I really enjoyed psych. I learned so much in psych, and I enjoyed both of those classes. Symbolic logic was not my favorite, but I took it to get the math requirement out of the way, so that's done, and now I don't ever have to worry about math again, which is amazing. So that's out of the way. And all of my courses were actually online, even though I was in person at school, like living at school. All of my courses were online on Zoom, which honestly wasn't that bad. I still had basically like a normal class like I would have if it were in person, and I feel like I still got to know my professors. So I actually really enjoyed that. So that's how college went for me as far as classes. Really enjoyed it, learned a lot, and yeah. As far as living on my own went, it actually went really well. I was pleasantly surprised with how independent I was. I was able to do basically everything for myself. We really prepared me very well to go to college on my own and do things for myself. So I was able to put on my shoes with those laces that we got for me. I was able to get dressed with just needing some help with the occasional button on an outfit if I chose to wear an outfit with a button. I was able to brush my hair I wasn't able to put it up, but I was able to brush it and just kind of style it. And I was able to take a shower in the shower that my college made for me. And I was able to do my own laundry with my rolling hamper that I brought and my laundry pods that I just had to throw into the washer. And doing all of those things was a lot easier than I thought it would have been, honestly. I did run into the occasional hiccup when I was trying to be independent. Like, sometimes I wanted to wear a pair of shoes, and even with the laces we got, I just could not get them on. So I would just have a friend help me with that. Or sometimes I wanted my hair in a braid or a bun. So I had my friends do my hair for me sometimes, and they really enjoyed doing my hair. And they were also so good at it. And then sometimes laundry could be challenging because the washers were all on one side of the room and then the dryers were on the other side. So when my clothing was done in the washer, I had to carry it all to the dryer, which was not easy at all. So sometimes I would just let a friend help me with that just so I didn't have to like make all the trips across the room. And I very rarely needed help doing buttons on clothing because I purposely brought clothing that didn't really have buttons on it because I didn't want to have to ask for help. But there were some days where I just really wanted to wear a certain outfit and it had a button. So I just asked my friends and they would help me with the button when I would put the outfit on and take it off. I have some funny stories about times where I needed help with stuff. Like, there was this one time, I'd only been at college for 5 days. And I'd made some friends, but like I'd known them for 5 days only. And I wore this dress that I could put on by myself. I just needed help doing a button on it and a tie. And I'd gotten a friend to do that for me. And then I thought that if I just undid the tie, I could pull it off even with the button done. But I literally like got stuck in this dress. It was so wild. I could not get this dress off for the life of me. I was trying so hard. And I eventually got a friend to unbutton it, but even with the button undone, I couldn't do it. And it was like stuck on me. I just could not get it off. And I had to have 2 of my friends that I'd known for only 5 days try to help me get this dress off. And one of them was like literally trying to push my left elbow through the sleeve while the other one was trying to pull the fabric, and they were just literally like trying to yank this dress off of me. It was so funny. I was laughing so hard. We were worried that we were gonna have to like cut the dress off or something because we couldn't get it off, but we eventually got it off. And I was just thinking, like, this is a prime example of something weird you'll have to do for your friend who has a disability. So yeah, definitely some interesting adventures there. I love telling that story now though, because even though at the time it was like really weird and like kind of uncomfortable, now I just find the whole situation hilarious. So it's really funny that I have a story like that to tell. And then regarding the dining hall, the workers in all of the dining halls were so helpful. All I had to do was literally like walk in and they recognized me even with my mask on every time. And they helped me go through the line and grab my food and carry it, and they would bring it all the way out to my table for me, and they would even open like my to-go box and my silverware and put my straw in my drink and everything. And with the straws, they typically like don't have plastic straws available, but they had a little cup with my name on it with straws in them for me that they kept behind the counter because they knew that I needed them since I can't pick my cups up. So I thought that was so sweet, and I like kind of became friends with the workers in all the dining halls. They were so nice. I knew a lot of their names, and we kind of just got to know each other and like actually had conversations when they were helping me get my food. And there were even times where they would carry my food all the way from the dining hall back to my dorm if I was eating in my dorm. They were so helpful. Like, everyone at my school was just so sweet. I couldn't have asked for more accommodating people at my school. And even there were times where I would come back and I was carrying a lot of stuff, maybe if I was getting food on my own, and I'd be walking in the hall and a girl in my hall would see me and she'd be like, oh my gosh, like, do you need help with that? And I'd say yes, and she'd help me take my stuff to my room. Or there were times where I'd get food and then I'd realize I couldn't open something and I was in my room and no one else was there. So I was like, oh no, like, what do I do? And I would text in my hall group chat and just be like, hey, is anyone available to open this tomato soup for me? Or whatever it was. And someone would be there within literally a minute. And that was really amazing to always just feel like I had someone there to help me. I never felt like I would be stuck in this place where I wouldn't have someone there if I needed someone, which was so reassuring and just really amazing. I also just made the sweetest friends ever. So many sweet people. I have amazing friends that I really hope I keep for the rest of my life, and we've been keeping in touch since we've come home, and I miss them so much. Shout out to you guys if you're watching, I love you. And I really just bonded with so many people really well over those 3 months that I was there. Even with the pandemic, it was pretty easy to make friends. I'm really fortunate that I was able to make friends, and it's kind of funny because 2 of my greatest friends had followed me on Instagram before and I followed them back, and they saw me in person and they stopped me and they were like, oh my gosh, we follow each other. I feel like we would get along. We should go have dinner together. And that's how I met 2 of my greatest friends, which I think is really cute. And I love them so much. So that makes me really happy. And they're so sweet and helpful. Like, they already kind of have caught on to the stuff that I need help with, which is really incredible. And one of the girls, who is actually one of my greatest friends now, was so sweet. When we first met, she asked me if I prefer to ask her for help and then have her help me, or if I prefer to just have her go ahead and help me with stuff without me asking. And I thought that that was so sweet of her to ask, because I'd never had anyone ask me that before, and it was just really cool that she thought of that. It was very considerate, and I just feel like that's such a good sign that she's an amazing friend. So that really made me happy. But yeah, basically at school, like, everyone is so welcoming, everyone's so sweet. I really had a successful time. I made so many great memories, so many great friends. I really learned just how independent I can be. I didn't see my family the whole 3 months I was there because of the pandemic. So I somehow managed to go from being this girl who had people wondering if she'd ever actually be able to go to college on her own without her mom or an aide, being there for 3 whole months without seeing any family members and doing it all on her own. And that just makes me so happy. I really actually am proud of myself, if I do say so myself. I can't believe that I was able to do all that I did on my own. There were just, like I said, those few little things I'd occasionally need help with, you know, like little things like putting on jewelry, buttoning my outfits, doing my hair, sometimes shoes, and then just sometimes like carrying stuff. But that's about it. And that's like pretty amazing, like that I was able to do everything else on my own. I actually, since I've gotten home, have written an article for Love What Matters about discovering my independence at school, and I would love for you all to check that out. I will link to the article in the description box below so you can check it out. And it's all centered around me finding out that I was able to open my P.O. box by myself, and I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to do that because I'd never had to turn a key before, and I wasn't sure if my hand would allow me to do that motion. And it's all about me discovering that I could and how happy that made me, and connecting that to discovering my independence as a whole. So I would love for you to read that. Really hope you enjoy that article if you do. So in this video, I just really wanted to reflect on college as a whole and just kind of tell you how it went and how I did things. I will definitely be making more detailed videos on college. This video is just kind of an overview of me just kind of sitting down thinking about how it all went, and just to give you all a little update. So I really hope you enjoyed. I'm going to try to keep posting more videos, so if there is anything you would like to see, please let me know in the comment section down below. I love hearing your ideas for videos. So yeah, that's it for this video. I post new videos every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern and sometimes Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye guys!